Today, we're going to dive into a really fascinating sci-fi game concept from the creator community Newgrounds. It's called Orbspace. And get this, it imagines a universe where the scariest thing out there isn't some monster with tentacles, but the bill that's due at the end of the month.
So let's just start with the creator's own words, because I think they set the tone so perfectly. This is my lair. You know, it immediately makes you picture this secret lab, some creative hideout, maybe even for a mad scientist.
And, well, it turns out that's pretty much exactly how the developer, Matthew Chapdelaine, sees himself. This entire game world, every single star, every challenge, it all comes from the mind of this one self-proclaimed mad scientist. And that gives the whole thing this really unique, personal feel.
Okay, so let's get into the world he's building. Let's start with just how big it is. What's the scale of this Orbspace universe?
The entire universe is built around 4 distinct star systems. You can think of each one as a kind of major hub, a crossroads for adventure, trade, and yeah, probably a lot of danger, all just waiting for you to explore. And orbiting those 4 stars, 16 unique planets. And the creator's super clear about this. Every single one is its own open world. So you're not just getting one sandbox to play in, you're getting 16 of them.
And that all leads to the core philosophy of the game's design, which is called Open Orbspace. The whole point is to give you absolute freedom to go where you want, whenever you want. You can go from a planet's surface up to its orbit and then just blast off across the void to a whole new star system.
So, you've got this massive galaxy laid out in front of you. What's your place in all this? Who are you supposed to be in the world of Orbspace?
Well, the game puts you squarely in the captain's chair. You're not just some pilot. You are a Starship captain. It's your ship, your crew, your call. That whole fantasy of commanding your own starship in this wide-open galaxy, that's the heart of the whole experience.
But here's where the whole concept gets really interesting. Because while the universe might be wide open for you to explore, your wallet is not. All of that freedom comes with a very real and very constant price tag.
Now, to get you started, your empire gives you a one-time grant. You can think of it as a little bit of seed money, a boost to get your engines fired up. But the key words there are one time.
And this is where that awesome sci-fi fantasy slams right into a harsh reality. That grant you started with, it's gonna disappear. Fast. You have to pay for absolutely everything. Parking fees, crew salaries, fuel, missiles, food. I mean, even charging your batteries costs you. Suddenly, being a captain is less about shouting "engage" and more about staring at a spreadsheet.
So this constant drain on your money leads to the game's biggest challenge. It's a question that every single captain is going to have to face when a bill comes due.
Right, so what are the consequences when you fail? This isn't a game where you just hit a respawn button. Here, financial failure has real, lasting effects that totally change your experience.
If you can't pay your license renewal fees, you get grounded. That's the official term. Your beautiful starship, your ticket to the galaxy, gets impounded. It is, and this is a direct quote, locked in the bay by government decree. You are just stuck.
And this slide just illustrates the stakes perfectly. When you had your ship, you were playing in the big leagues. Interstellar economics, high-risk missions, big-money trade routes. But once you're grounded, you get demoted all the way down to planet-side economics, which the designer specifically says is much less rewarding. That climb back to the stars suddenly looks incredibly steep.
But even when you're at that low point, stuck on some planet just watching other ships fly off to new adventures, the design gives you a little glimmer of hope. Being grounded isn't necessarily game over.
The designer makes it really clear. Failure isn't the end. It's just the beginning of a different and much, much harder journey. If you're willing to grind it out, taking on those less glamorous planet-side jobs, you can earn enough to pay your debts and get your ship back.
So, at the end of the day, the Orbspace concept is a universe where the biggest challenge isn't a black hole, it's not some alien armada, it's your own balance sheet. Which leaves us with a pretty compelling question. Could you handle it? Could you balance the thrill of total freedom with the harsh reality of finance? Because in Orbspace, your path to the stars literally depends on it.